What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's up? So we here. It's 3-1 Knicks. What a game, man. What an absolute game. Had time to sit with it for a while, sleep on it, you know what I'm saying? Would have loved to have been with some in NY. I was pretty accurate on my prediction that he would not make it to first take or get up this morning because his ass wouldn't have been able to get up because he probably didn't go to sleep. He made it on NBA Today at 3 p.m. New York time. But like I said, you know, I think you got to be at ESPN studio for get up and first take at like 4 a.m. And he probably just got in about 2, 3 a.m. So I knew that wasn't happening. Who y'all blaming for the Spurs loss, man? Like we literally saw history on both sides within the same game. We saw the Spurs score the most points for a road team in the first half of the NBA Finals. We saw the Spurs have the greatest lead for a road team in the NBA Finals at halftime. Saw them shoot 60% in the first half, 54 from three, to shoot like 18% from three in the second half, and give up the largest lead, have the biggest choke job in history, man. The Knicks with the greatest comeback. Appreciate New York for that, by the way. Definitely appreciate y'all for that because y'all got the Lakers off of being number one on that list, you know, from '08. But it was tough, man. It was tough. It was definitely man. I'm seeing a lot of people want to put a lot of blame on Wemby, and I get it. I get it. The way Wemby played in the second half was unacceptable. And I'm not here to make no excuses for him. I'm just here to point out some facts. So let's talk about some facts. Wemby's 22. He's 22. And I believe that for as amazing he is and as incredible his talent is and all of the things that he shows and displays and his abilities that he's capable of doing at his size that we've never seen before, I believe that we sometimes forget that he is just 22. I got another thing that I think we forget that I think people just don't think about. Last night was the second most minutes that Wemby has ever played in a basketball game. The first came a few weeks ago against Oklahoma City in a double overtime game. So last night was the most minutes he's ever played in a regulation game. He's only played 40 minutes 4 times in his career. All 4 times have been within the last month or so in the Western Conference Finals and in the East Finals. He hasn't been prepared for this. Now, there's no problem with him playing those minutes. Vassell played 40 minutes. He never played 40 minutes all season. I think the last time he played 40 minutes was 2 seasons ago, 2024. Ironically, one of those games was against the Knicks. These two teams just put up historic games. That's, you know, you're built for this moment. You got to be built for this moment and prepared for this moment. So there's nothing wrong with, you know, the fact that the games that he has now played the most minutes in have all been in Um, not only these playoffs, but in the Western Conference Finals and in the NBA Finals. That makes all the sense in the world, right? Here's the kicker though. The thing about that is, like I said, he hasn't been prepared for it. Last night, I've become a fan of Mitch Johnson. All right, let's remember that I've become a big fan of Mitch Johnson. His adjustments, um, you know, winning game one against OKC, then losing 2 and 3. The adjustments I saw him make in game four to help get that series back to 2-2. Then they lost in game five, and then in game six, the adjustments to get it to game seven, and then what I saw from him as a coach in game seven. Mitch Johnson, my age, we're both 39. He showed me a whole lot over the past month. I have a great deal of respect for him. Last night, not only was not his shining moment, last night was it was a low. It was definitely a low moment for him. People making jokes about De'Aaron Fox, but not a lot of people want to hold De'Aaron Fox accountable. And I think it's more so just because everybody just you always want to take shots at the best player. I get it. You're the best player. Heavy is the head. Wemby definitely deserves some blame. He has to get some of that blame pie. I give him more blame on last night's choke of the entire Spurs team, more so than I gave him blame in the game two loss where he made the pass that, let's just be real. Again, had Mitch Johnson, who I gave the most blame to that night, had told them in the huddle, we're going to get this stop, we're going to call timeout and set up our play. Or we're going to get this stop and I want y'all to go. We're not going to call timeout. I trust you. Either way, once Wemby got that rebound, it should have been known what to do. De'Aaron Fox was right by him. Steph Castle was running right in front of him. Steph was looking back at him, never called for the ball. He turned his head along with his back and ran forward. It's basketball one-on-one. You don't do that. You don't do that. So I put a lot of that blame on Mitch for not making it clear what to do, and on Steph for doing what he did. What I had neglected that night, and I had to come back the next day or so to recall and make a point of, Fox, you was right there. You should have said something and got the ball, because you're the actual point guard, and you're the vet. You're Unc. You're the adult in the room. You're 28. We're talking about a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old. Still no excuse for what Steph did. Wemby made the pass, but hell, they always show that play whenever you see that replay, it's in slow motion. Look at it in fast motion, in regular time, speed. Rebound, turns, dribbles. He literally took one dribble, I think, one step before he passed the ball to Steph. That shows how short of a time Steph was looking back for the ball and then turned and took off. Steph got to do better right there. That's more on Steph. That's more on Mitch. The only way I would take away some of the problems, some of the blame on Mitch, and I said this, is if I agree, free Palestine. God loves you as well. God bless y'all. I appreciate you. God bless. The only way I would take blame off of Mitch is if he did what some would call throwing his team under the bus. I don't say it's throwing the team under the bus. I say it's you keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to throw your team under the bus, but you gotta be honest and let it be known that, hey, I said this is what we should have did. We didn't do it. I guess they didn't think about it at the time, whatever. But you got to take yourself off the hook. He didn't do that, so for all I know, he didn't say nothing. So it's on him. Then it's on Steph, but it's also on Fox because you should have gotten the ball. So the least of the blame is on Wemby. That was game two. Now we're gonna fast forward to game four. Wemby takes more blame than he took in game two, simply because he was terrible. He was awful in the second half. He was awful in the second half. No, I'm not Muslim. I respect the Quran. I respect the Nation of Islam and what they mean to and for black men. It's all love and respect. It's crazy you asked me that. I ain't even got my Malcolm X shirt on. I got my Kobe shirt on. But Kobe Dodger shirt. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Machiavelli trained soldier and a soldier for Christ. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely respect Allah as well. But I worship Jesus Christ. So back to the schedule program. Wemby was terrible last night. He was awful in the second half. He had 8 points. I don't know what he shot, but I know he didn't shoot well for the game. I think he was 9 of 25. He was 2 of 8 from three. He was awful in the second half. So he definitely takes blame. He wasn't prepared for that. At the end of the third quarter, Wemby had already played 5 more minutes than he played in the previous game. Game four was the blowout before it wasn't, right? You gotta give him some rest, bro. I understand y'all not trusting Cornette because of the matchup. I get that. However, you trust Cornette this whole season. Cornette has played phenomenal for the Spurs when Wemby was out, either not playing or just on the bench, for a breather. Cornette's been big. Cornette made the play of the series against Oklahoma City, and you're just not trusting them now in the NBA Finals. Okay, that's fine, but you're also not giving Mason Plumlee an opportunity. Shout out to my Duke youngin. Or Bizamo, Bizback, Biombo, whatever that his name is. Which means Wemby only gets about 4 minutes to rest last night. And he felt it the entire fourth quarter. He felt it the entire fourth quarter. He started feeling it in the third quarter. As I was watching that game, it wasn't just Wemby. I'm looking at Vassell, I'm looking at Champagne, I'm looking at Castle, I'm looking at Harper. And I'm saying them young boys' nuts are shriveling up. Their eyes getting big, their balls getting small. Because they know, bro, we was just up 29 and that's 21. And that's 15. Bro, it's 9. Bro, what the fuck is 4 points? Like, what the fuck is heck? What? Oh my God, it's 1 point. Oh, thank you, Josh Hart. Okay, come on, can we get a control? Oh no, we don't. Oh my God, they're up. Like, you can always say what you would do, what you wouldn't do to you in that mode, that situation. I saw somebody say, y'all cracking jokes on Fox, but a lot of y'all would have took the layup too. Well, I'll speak on me as a coach, because me as a player, I probably wouldn't have been in that position to take the layup, because I wouldn't have been fast enough to get down there to even think that I could beat him. So I would have had to dribble it out or get it to somebody else, right? I'm not afraid of the moment of the free throws. I would have held it, took the foul, and went to the free throw line. I was an 85% free throw shooter. Big man. I handled my shit. As a coach, I'm lighting your ass the fuck up. I don't know if I actually could right there in the moment, just because you did that shit with 12 and a half seconds left, and now I think they get a timeout like in 9 seconds or some shit. So it's kind of hard for me to do it right then in that moment because we got to still focus on getting this stop to win this game. But it's like, bro, you're the adult, bro. You're the extension of me. You're the point guard. Why the fuck are you trying to just put us up by 3 that way when so much can fucking go wrong? I'm not sure what De'Aaron's free throw percentage was. That's something I did neglect to look up. But I'm gonna just guess. I'm just pulling this out my ass. I'm going to assume that De'Aaron Fox is somewhere between an 83 and an 86% free throw shooter. I'm gonna assume. And if he is below 80, I would say maybe 78. Um, I don't think De'Aaron Fox is a bad free throw shooter. I could be wrong. That 20-year-old, that 21-year-old, that 22-year-old, even the 24 and 25-year-old, they can shrivel up. They nuts can shrivel up. Their eyes can get big. They can be afraid of the moment. De'Aaron, yours can't. Yours can't. You're 28. You're a vet. This is like your 9th year in the league or some shit. You've been in the playoffs before. You've won big games before. You went to Kentucky. You played under pressure. Like, you got to be better because it wasn't just going for that layup. And you know what? Speaking of Shump said something. Shump, a New York guy, New York fan, he said that was not a block by OG. It was a foul. You want to know something? There was too much excitement for me to mention it last night. But live, when it first happened, I thought they were calling a foul. I was literally looking to see did they just call a foul. Because I could see that OG fouled him. He did. He fouled him. But, for one, Fox didn't sell it. We can go back to the NFL playoffs when the Bills lost. That Hail Mary that Josh threw and old buddy didn't get up, complaining to the ref that I caught it. And, he took it from me after I caught it. So the big thing that they were saying during the broadcast was he didn't argue it. He didn't sell it. So to the ref, shit, he know that old buddy took it. He know that old buddy took possession from him. So it's a pit. So fuck it. It's a pit. De'Aaron didn't try to sell that, hey, I just got bumped. I got bumped and I got hit on my wrist. Hand on my waist, bumped by the body, hit on my wrist. I got fouled 3 times and y'all not gonna call it. OG fouled him. They didn't call it. You know why it hasn't been brought up other than the Knick fan, Amon, bringing it up? Is because all the crying in this series, in these 4 games, especially the first 3.5, because they was loud as fuck last night for the first time, is that the Spurs getting all the calls. The league want Wemby to win. Bro, do you know how much money Adam Silver and the NBA is bringing in just by the Knicks being here? Let alone the Knicks winning those 2 games in San Antonio, the Knicks being up 2-0, the Knicks having New York City on fucking fire because after 2 games, they're screaming Knicks in 4. All the money that's being generated because it's the New York Knickerbockers. They lose game 3. The city's a bit worried. It's a bit down. It's not as loud. It's not as high. The anticipation prior to the game or during the game of game 3 wasn't the same for game 4. But I got to get that crowd that was inside Madison Square Garden some love. They were down 76-49 at halftime with 9 minutes and 33 seconds left in the third. So almost 3 minutes, about 2.5 minutes into the half, the second half. The Knicks increased that lead back up to 29. I believe it was 81-52. I saw a whole bunch of sad faces from celebs and fans and this and that, a bunch of disbelief, a bunch of I can't believe this shit, a bunch of are you fucking kidding me, a bunch of God please don't let this happen again. There's a bunch of we was just up 2-0 on the road, and now you telling me we gonna lose two at home and we gotta go back on the road to Texas tied 2-2. We about to go down 2-3. That's what I saw. I saw a lot of that on faces. But you know what I didn't see or hear? I didn't see one person leave the garden. I didn't hear one boo towards their team. I'm a Laker fan. Y'all see my goat, the Bean, Cole, the Mamba. I'm a Laker fan through and through. I'm 39 years old. I've been a Laker fan for over 30 years. I love the Lake Show. LA, I told you, I feel like my soul is from Los Angeles. When I stepped foot off that plane, hell, when I was still in the plane, I just seen LAX, and I'm just knowing like I'm in the same, I'm home. I truly felt like I was home when I was in LA. Only thing that brought me down was that was the day, but I still found a way to enjoy myself from Sunday to Wednesday, Thursday. I think it was Sunday to Thursday, and we ended up having to stay till Friday. Um, Greatest vacation ever. If that was in Staples, bruh, half the crowd would have been gone, and they would have been booing in the second quarter. Facts, all facts, all facts. Not saying that the Garden ain't never booed and the Garden ain't never left because they had plenty of times and they've had plenty of reasons, but they truly believed and they stayed faithful and loyal. And I only got 5%, and that 5% is gonna go to zero very quick. So I'm gonna pause right here. I'll come back later, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to just let this one go. Um, I forgot my phone. It's been a crazy day, man. I had some. It's been a long day. So, I didn't get to charge my phone the way I needed to, but shout out to that garden crowd for real. Um, I'm gonna try to get back at y'all, man. I appreciate you.